All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about something that so many websites, maybe even yours, are getting totally wrong. I'm talking about image SEO. We're going to figure out how to take your images from just pretty decorations to actual magnets for search engines and new visitors. Let's do this. So picture this. You've spent all this time, maybe even money, getting these absolutely stunning images for your website. They look incredible, right? They capture your brand perfectly. But when it comes to Google, it's like they're completely invisible. It is super frustrating. I get it, but the great news, we can absolutely fix it.
And here's why you should care. That number right there, 20%. That means more than 1 out of every 5 searches on Google happens in Google Images. Just let that sink in. This isn't some tiny little niche. It's a massive, massive river of potential customers that honestly most people are just letting float on by.
So what's the fix? Well, it's all about image SEO. And look, this isn't some complicated thing with photo filters or anything like that. It's really just about leaving clues. You're helping search engines, and now even AI models, understand what your pictures actually mean. Because once Google gets what an image is about, it can start showing it to the right people, and those people will click right through to your website.
Okay, so where do we even begin? Well, it starts with the most basic thing imaginable, the file name itself. I love this idea of an identity card for your image. It's perfect, because that's literally the first thing a search engine sees when it comes across your picture. And the difference it makes is huge. Just look at this. On the one hand, you've got img_1234.jpg. I mean, that's what your camera spits out, right? It tells Google absolutely nothing. But then look at the other side. Digital marketing course, Dubai. Boom, instantly. Google knows the topic, the service, and even the city. You've just handed it all the context it needs on a silver platter. And here's the cool part. You can do this for pretty much anything with a super simple formula. Seriously, just follow these steps. What is it? The product or service. What's it about? That's your keyword. Where is it? Add the location if that matters. And finally, is it a special version? That's your variation. It's a simple, repeatable system you can use for every single image. Okay, so file name is step 1. What's next? It's something called alt text. Now, this is just a short, written description you add to your image, and it does 2 incredibly important things. First, it's a game changer for accessibility. It lets people using screen readers know what the image is. And second, it's another massive clue for search engines to understand your content. And there's a really great point from the folks at Backlinko that I want to share. They say that great alt text isn't just about describing what an image looks like, it's about describing its purpose. So think about it. If you have an image that's actually a button, you wouldn't just write blue button, right? No way. You'd write what it does, like download AI course brochure. So much more helpful for everyone. Now, it's not just about the file itself. Where you put the image on the page matters a lot. Think about it. An image of, say, a digital marketing class is going to have way more impact if it's sitting right next to text and headlines that are also about that digital marketing class. It just makes sense, right? Google sees all that and says, yep, this image is definitely relevant. All right, so you've got your killer file names, your perfect alt text, the context is spot on, you're all set, right? Well, not so fast, because you can do all of that work perfectly, and it can all be for nothing if your images are slowing down your site. Page speed is absolutely crucial for SEO. One of the easiest ways to speed things up is to just use modern image formats. You've probably heard of JPEG, but newer formats like WebP and AVIF are just better. They use smarter compression, so you get a much smaller file size, which means faster loading, but you don't lose any of that visual quality. Seriously, this is one of those quick wins you should totally do. And if you want to get a little more technical, here are 3 more things that will make a huge difference. First, always compress your images. There are free tools online for this. Second, look into lazy loading. All that means is that images don't load until you actually scroll to them, which saves a ton of time up front. And third, make your images responsive. You don't want someone on a tiny phone downloading a massive desktop-sized image, right? Using something called ScriptSet lets you serve the perfect size for every screen. Okay, I have to give you a really important warning here. Please, whatever you do not put important text inside of your images. I'm talking about your company name, your phone number, key headlines, anything like that. Why? It's simple. Google can't read it. Screen readers can't read it. As far as they're concerned, that text is completely invisible. So keep all that crucial info as actual text on your page. Now, everything we've talked about is for your website, but I want you to start thinking bigger. Because these rules, these principles, they apply everywhere your brand shows up online.
It's all one big ecosystem, and that definitely includes your social media.
So yeah, when you're posting on LinkedIn or Instagram or X, the same logic holds. Rename that file before you upload it. Use the alt text feature. Most platforms have one now. And here's a pro tip. When you share a link from your site, you can use something called Open Graph tags to choose the exact image and text that shows up in the preview. It makes your posts look so much more professional and way more clickable.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a ton of work, especially if I have an old site with thousands of images. And you're not wrong. But here's the thing. You don't have to do it all by hand. You can actually let AI do the heavy lifting. Tools like ChatGPT are amazing for this. You can ask it to generate a whole bunch of SEO-friendly file names or alt text, and it'll spit them out in seconds.
So let's wrap this all up with a quick checklist. Your final takeaways. Number 1, rename your files with descriptive keywords. 2, add that specific purposeful ALT text. 3, compress your images for speed. 4, put them next to relevant text. And one last little check for you, find a file called robots.txt on your server. Just make sure it isn't accidentally telling search engines to stay away from your images. It happens. And that's really what it all comes down to. And it's the question I want to leave you with. I want you to go look at your own site right now. And for every single image, ask yourself, is this an opportunity or is it just a missed connection? Is it actively bringing new people in, or is it just a pretty picture that's, well, invisible? The answer and the power to change it is completely up to you.